Hello guys, so in this video what we are going to do is we are going to perform some operations on a string that we learned in last video. And there are some operations and something we can there are some ways through which we can play with the strings in Python, and that we are going to see in this video. So let's get started. I'm going to use Python interactive shell, and let's see. So the first thing that we need to understand is that whatever is provided in between these two double quotes, right, it's a string, okay, or it is provided within a single quote, it's a string. No matter if it's a number, it's a string, in this case also, right, it's a string. So these are very basic rules of writing any string, right? It's a string anyways. So this is very basic information about a string. Now what you can do is there are some operations, right, that you can perform on a string, right? So the first operation that we need to understand is concatenation of strings. Means like concatenating two strings, or like adding two strings together and getting the required output in a combined form. So for example, suppose there's a very simple example. Suppose if you are writing this, so it's pretty much simple that we are going to get the output as 55, right, not 10, because it's a string. Okay, so it's very simple. In the same way, suppose you wrote something like let's see what it gives when you're using single quote on one side and double quotes on the other side. Let's see. I think it's going to give us error. Anyways, so hi, and I'm sorry, hi plus there, obviously it is going to print us for us hi there. Okay, same thing we can use, you can do with the double quotes as well. It's very much simple, hi there, right? We can do the same for big sentences as well. I love my country, right? So it's going to give us this. What if we want to provide some gap in between this, because it's not looking good, right, and it is grammatically incorrect? So what if we want to provide some gap in between, right? So all that is, it will be grammatically incorrect as well at that time of point also, but let me just provide gap in between this, right? So what you can do is just provide a gap here. Sorry, right, and it's now going to provide the output as how we actually want, right? So it's going to provide the gap, just provide a gap here and here. I don't know if there is some other way of doing this, but I'm just doing it a simpler way, and I'm not bothered about searching any new way at all. So if someone knows, just comment me and let me know. Anyways, so this is very simple operation, and in the same way we can do this, because it's obviously a string. And let's see what happens if we are combining with one string with an integer. I think it's going to give us an error. In this case it is giving us an error, but one interesting thing about this is that one interesting thing about this is that if you are multiplying a string with an integer, we might think that we are going to get an error, but it's not giving the error. What it's doing instead is it's printing hi 5 times. I found it very interesting, right? In the same way, suppose if you wanted to print like this, it's going to print hi 120 times. So it's good. But what if we are doing like this, we are trying to multiply two strings, it's going to give us error, can't multiply sequence by non-int of type string, so it's not going to print it, right? So this was very basic operation of doing this. And yes, now what we want to do is, this was some just basic operations, and you know what now I want to do is that you know, suppose you have a print statement where there is a big sentence written all over, like I am John, I am from Australia, I love my country, right? So it's a very simple way of writing something. I don't want to provide any gap in between. Let me just sort it out. So it's very simple, you know, it's going to print the whole sentence, right? What if we want to print I'm John in one line, and I'm from Australia in second, and you know, I'm country in third line, right? So what we can do in this case is that we can just provide this, wait, and we can provide this, okay, and it's going to print our required output in new line. Fine. So you see it's printing, but there is some gap in between, and I don't want gap here. So what we can do is you can just remove the gap here, and it is going to give us the required output now, what we actually want, right? So I'm from John, I'm from Australia, and I love my country, right? So there is no gap. So this was pretty much, you know, covering all the operational aspects of strings, and I think it was kind of enough for all of us to understand. If you know something else other than this or these operations, I think there should be something, but yeah, in this case, just let me know, and share your informations as well. So I'm going to end this video now. Thank you so much for watching. Keep calm and code Python. Thank you.